Okay friends, to get started, the first thing we have to do is remove our door panel. To do that, I'm going to start right here by removing this Phillips head screw. The fork tool and remove this. Now we're going to use our trim tool, come underneath the front of this area here and pop it up. Let's remove the wiring from the back. Let's come right underneath this area with a pocket screwdriver. I'm going to pry this apart and then lift this up and out. It's always a good idea to check your electrical connectors, make sure you don't see any corrosion. If you do, it needs to be dealt with. This looks great, so let's set it aside and continue. There we are. Remove that. All right, now the next thing we need to do is get underneath our grab handle. You're going to find a mounting bolt right here and then a second one right there. Let's remove the pair. Now let's continue on with our trim tool, and we're going to come in between the door panel and the door itself. I want to make sure I use a plastic trim tool because of course I don't want to damage my paint. Slide it in between and then gently pry away. Once you have it so it's starting to break free, you can carefully pry it away from the door. There we are. Let's go ahead and lift this up and get it out of here. Now at this point, something that I want to make sure that we have is our window in the fully up position, because we're going to need to get behind here and I need to access that area over there. If for some reason yours isn't, all you need to do is go ahead and plug in your window switch right here, and of course the lock for that right there. After that, just put your window fully up and then of course turn off your key. The next thing I want to do is pop this out of here. I'm just going to use my plastic trim tool, pop it right out so we have access. Let's come right over here and start moving this away from the door panel as well. Now that we have all that out of the way, we have a clear view of where our two mounting nuts are. One right here in this hole, and then one right there. Let's remove the pair. Now I'll do that second one. So now I'm just going to go ahead and pull this door handle out as much as I can. I want to be very careful not to scratch my paint, and I'm going to come in with a flathead screwdriver and try to pop this lock off of here. Once I get the lock off, I can remove the rod. Okay, I've got the lock off of there. Now I'll just push the rod right out. Now there's going to be another one that's located a little bit further up top. That's going to be a black lock. We need to pop that off as well. For that, I'm going to come right through the inside door area here, press on this. All right, now that we have the lock off, let's pull the rod out of there. Okay, let's go ahead and carefully pull this out. All right, and now we can turn it around and get ready to remove our lock assembly. Now we're going to go ahead and pop the lock out of here. Take a flathead screwdriver, press on this area right along there. You can slide it right out. Set this aside. Let's grab our new handle. Now we're just going to take this, slide it right in, and listen for a click. Just going to use this to press this in. Now let's come to the outer aspect of the latch right here. We're going to remove our 3 mounting bolts. Let's start this upper rod in there. Of course, lock it in. There we are. Take this, roll it in. Okay, so now that we have the handle in and flush, let's continue on to starting our 3 mounting bolts for our latch. Now that all 3 are started, let's snug them up. We have the latch mounted. Let's continue on to putting in our 2 mounting bolts for the outside handle. Now looking in through this hole, you can tell where I'm trying to put in that lower rod. I'm just going to go ahead and line it up with its corresponding hole, and then of course lock it in. Go ahead and push in that rod, and then we'll lock it. There we are. Let's put this little cover back in here. Now let's go ahead and put back up our vapor barrier. To put on the inside trim panel here, let's go ahead and grab the wiring, pull it through right here. along the top, you're going to feel that you have a lip right along this area. It needs to fit over this right here. So come up high and then bring it down low. Now that we have it down, look inside and just make sure that all your little pitons are lined up with their holes. Once they are, just go ahead and push it in. Let's put this on. If you were to look at the back side, you can see it has a little hooky-doo here. That's going to need to slide underneath this ridge. Come in at an angle, slide it under, and then press this in. There we are. Now we can start in our mounting screw and snug it up. Next, we're going to come underneath the grab handle and put in 2 of our mounting bolts. Make sure that's nice and tight, and do the same to the other one. Let's put in our little piton. Now it's time to get our switch on here. Okay, double check them all, make sure they're secured. Something you want to pay attention to is this area along here. It's a little hooky-doo, needs to slide underneath this. Once it's under, go ahead and push this down and lock it in. Now let's go ahead and test our door handle. I'm going to check it in the locked position. Perfect.